Hello, Westford. My name is Alicia Curtin Mallon, and I am running for school committee. I have served on the school committee for the last 2 years, completing a term left vacant by a departing member. I have been an active participant in as many committees and discussions as possible. As a school committee member, we are required to attend our bi-weekly meetings, but there are so many opportunities to really dig deeper and be more involved. One of my current subcommittee assignments is the Diversity and Inclusion team. This assignment has been one of my favorites. My group has been working with parent volunteers to better understand their unique experiences. We've held forums and asked them to meet with the administrations of their children's buildings. And at the suggestion of one of our amazing volunteers, we are creating a parent peer-to-peer group that will address the needs of our families who are not only new to the district, but are also first-generation Americans, navigating a system unlike what they may have experienced as students themselves. We hope to provide these parents with an opportunity to connect with other parents who have had similar experiences and can direct them to the information they need. I am also still an active member of our Special Education Parent Advisory Council, our CPAC. The CPAC is a volunteer group of parents who work to educate the community and advise the district. In Westford, approximately 30% of our students are assisted by student services. These are children receiving special education services, our English language learners, and economically disadvantaged families. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to understand the complicated world of special education. It has been a privilege to be a voice for this underrepresented but growing community. That is, of course, not the only community in Westford that is growing. Westford is about to experience an unprecedented population boom. The Westford Public Schools have a current enrollment of over 5,000 students. In a town with a population just over 26,000 at our last census, that's about 1/5 of our residents. While we've done our best to anticipate the needs and the costs associated with this growth, we need to carefully monitor the enrollment over the next few months and continue to work closely with our town manager, the finance committee, and our board of selectmen. At the same time, we're starting to plan for a long-anticipated redistricting. As our population has grown and shifted over the years, some of our buildings have welcomed more students than others. Unbalanced enrollments can lead to larger class sizes and uneven resources. No one likes change, and the thought of moving my own kids from one building to another is tough. But there are ways we can ease the transition. We already have sister school practices and move-up day events that can welcome our students to their new buildings and give them a greater sense of belonging. We also have amazing parent-teacher organizations that can connect with parents and help them integrate into their new community. This brings us to one of our biggest challenges that we face as a district: the budget. State funding sources simply have not kept up with the rising costs of education. This year, we were forced to make very difficult choices that involve personnel for the first time in many years. None of these decisions were made lightly, and I have worked with other town boards and committees to try to balance our needs with the needs of the town in a way that doesn't sacrifice one department over another. Going forward, it is imperative that we address funding needs from the source. Cities and towns receive funding for schools under what is commonly known as Chapter 70. This funding model has not been updated since the 90s. At the same time, the reimbursement we receive from the state for special education costs, which is known as the circuit breaker, is a percentage that fluctuates from year to year, making it extremely difficult to anticipate. I have supported the overhaul of state funding models for several years now. I and the rest of the Westford School Committee recently unanimously voted in favor of a resolution supporting the Promise Act. This act has the support of our state representative and senator, the Massachusetts Teachers Association, and nearly 100 school committees across the state and counting. I will continue to work with not only our local boards, but also our state legislators to ensure fair and appropriate funding that doesn't require us to compromise the excellence of our district and the wellness and security of our students. Speaking of security, did you know that our district has been undergoing a two-pronged study of our student safety? Last year, we asked the town to support a request for funding proposal so that we could evaluate our current safety and wellness plans. This was done so that we can have a clearer picture of both the physical security of our facilities, as well as our policies and procedures that support students' mental health and well-being. I've also attended the district's Summer Learning Institute's full-day workshop on school safety, where I participated in an exercise known as an Alice drill, including a full evacuation of a building. Having the first-hand experience of what our students practice and the collaborative efforts of both the Westford schools and our police and fire departments is absolutely essential to understanding the challenges we face in the ever-shifting landscape of school safety. This is one of the most important parts of being a school committee member, continuing education. We ask our students to strive for excellence, and we owe them the same level of dedication and effort. I've attended district discussions, workshops, and conferences with the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, and let's face it, I have never met a forum or summit that I did not want to attend. Researching Massachusetts laws and other districts' policies are just the tip of the iceberg. I'm also in constant contact with administrators and parents and students, asking for their opinions and sharing information on everything from later school start times, to bus contracts, to homework. Westford, I could talk to you about policies and best practices for hours. And if you've met me, you may already have known that. But if you'd like to learn more about me, you can find me online at aliciaforwestford.com or on Facebook by searching for Alicia Westford School Committee. Thank you for listening, and please remember to vote for Alicia for School Committee on May 7th.